Hi, this is Brandy Shantz with Living Chronic. Season 2 is underway. We've got a lot of great interviews coming out. I'm loving talking to everybody and getting your messages and programming some more interviews that are really relevant to everybody. I did want to talk a little bit about what it's like living chronic and what that means for your opinions and how you feel, let's say. I know that there are a lot of interviews where people are expressing doubt about various parts of the medical community, doctors, medications, um, institutions, how they're running things. And, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a medical professional. I am a woman who suffers from a chronic illness, and I am very well educated. I know how to do research. I am solid with the critical thinking skills. There's still a lot I don't know. I just here to open up a forum and allow people to express what they've experienced, what they've used to better their own health, their own well-being, their own emotions. So there are some episodes where, yes, people have expressed some hesitance towards certain medications. Maybe they had a bad experience and it led them to be a little leery of vaccines. Maybe they're very mistrustful of, certain doctors. And all I have to say to that is this is an open forum. I do challenge people where I know I need to challenge people, but in a way that still allows them to tell their story. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Goodness knows I've had every possible follow-up COVID vaccine. I'm not against the medical community at large. I have a lot of great doctors who I trust and I'm thankful for. I take medications. There are medications I don't trust. I had a very bad experience, and I've learned a lot since then about the FDA and what that organization lacks. I've learned a lot about doctors not necessarily being up to speed on what certain medications can cause, what the side effects might be, what's emerging as some adverse reactions. So, the bottom line is this is an open forum, and my perspective is let's try to be understanding. Yes, there are a lot of YouTube videos out there, people deliberately trying to manipulate people who are in a very bad position. That is true. But there's also a lot of experiences out there where people have found that maybe, taking certain treatments that are not typical have favored them versus traditional medicine. There is a lot of mistrust expressed on this podcast. But again, I implore you, think about it in this way. We would not have so much mistrust in institutions, medications, and professionals if those institutions, professionals, leaders were trustworthy. We've been failed. It's not that we're all prone to conspiracy theories. It's not that we're prone to bad information, although some might come in. But the bottom line is we get here because we've been failed. We're not here because institutions and medical professionals and medications and big pharma and the FDA has been great for us and has helped us live a much better life. For many of us, they've earned that mistrust. So I just want to say, let's give a little room for understanding. Let's allow people to tell their stories. And I like to say, let's always remember, if institutions, professionals, leaders want us to believe in them and trust them, they first and foremost have to earn that trust. I'm going to do my best to use my analytical and critical thinking skills to get to the bottom of things and learn as best I can. But when it comes to this podcast, I'm going to bring up what I've learned. I'm going to push back on a couple of things if I know that they're wrong. But at the end of the day, I just want an open forum for people who have experienced very traumatic things and are learning to live their life chronic the best they know how. And I think that's a great thing to remember just every day in life. It's not that people are prone necessarily to mistrust. It's just that unfortunately we've been failed. So a little room for understanding and maybe a big hug and congratulations on getting as far as you have is really well in order. So, see you soon for another great episode of Living Chronic. This week, we are actually talking to a doctor who has done a lot of research on cannabis medications. I'm really excited. That was a great interview, and I have a lot of great insight based on that interview and the book that he wrote. Both are phenomenal. I learned a lot. So, see you soon. Keep living chronic and chronically fabulous.